VitalOne is a multifaceted organization that specializes in interfacility transports. The goal is to seek the highest level of treatment for a patient's condition, then arrange transport. Each transport is overseen by a highly qualified and experienced medical team whose goal is to provide the highest level of patient care and comfort during the transfer.
People don't understand why is there a need for a person who is already in a hospital to go to another hospital, and if they need to go to another hospital, why do they have to go by plane, by helicopter from one state to the other state?
Most local hospitals simply don't always provide the best medical care available to a patient. When a patient is sick and in the hospital, they are forced to rely on friends and family to make critical decisions regarding their health. That is not the ideal frame of mind to be in while making crucial decisions regarding their loved one's health care. Most importantly, time is of the essence. When a patient needs immediate care, the faster they reach the medical facility they are going to, the greater the chances are for a full recovery.
I was traveling to an engagement party in Muncie from the mountains, the Catskills. A car came from the other end a little bit too fast and got into my lane, and it was head-on collision. My femur bone in my right leg was broken in half. My right foot was crushed, and my right shoulder was totally smashed. All my ribs were smashed. I was taken to Poughkeepsie Hospital, and they called my wife in the Catskills. She went to Hatzolah, and Hatzolah told them they should contact VitalOne.
My mother, who is in her 70s, annually goes down to Florida. She went into the hospital with severe congestive heart failure and breathing problems. She wound up having to be put on a respirator. After being on the respirator for an extended period of time, they felt that the only way to get her off of it was to do a tracheotomy. As a family, we were faced with the decision of what to do on her behalf. Once the tracheotomy was done, we got in touch with Rabbi Leader, and with his help and with his direction and guidance, we were able to get her up north to New Jersey, where we all are in the New York metropolitan area, so that we could care for her here, rather than, if it wouldn't have been for him, she would still be in Florida, and it would have been a very, very difficult circumstance for all of us.
Rosie was born. She was intubated at birth. We were expecting a healthy baby. Several hours later, they let us know that she had spina bifida. Her spine was open. It needed repair surgery within 24 hours. Besides her spina bifida, she had many medical conditions, which included Chiari malformation. So she had a very severe breathe and swallow issue. The hospital arranged a surgeon for us, and she was in surgery a couple hours later. When she was 3 weeks old, they let us know that they already scheduled her for brain surgery. It was called decompression surgery. And that's when we woke up and said, we're in Brooklyn, this is major stuff. We need to do a little more research. We had very nice people sending her files to Philadelphia. Someone took it to Boston. And then we settled with a doctor in Boston. It was Dr. Scott, a neurosurgeon. But we still had the issue of, how do we get away from this hospital? She was scheduled already over there. She was really fragile, very risky, very tiny, on a respirator, turning blue even on the respirator. But yet we wanted to leave and we didn't know how to do this. And then we were told about Rabbi Leader, Rabbi 901. After speaking to him, he really reassured us that he did this many times and that it was possible. And he got us in touch with someone who walked us through how to let the hospital know that we trust them, but we want to leave.
It was one day in the month of July, received a phone call from a mother of a community member that was vacationing with his wife in San Martin that he has internal bleeding and he needs help. We found out that he cannot spend the night there and we have to pull him out of San Martin as soon as possible. I called up some of my friends and everyone gave me the same name and the same phone number, Isaac Lieder. I called him and by talking to him for a couple of minutes I realized that the man knows his business and he means business. By talking to the local doctor, I found out the boy is bleeding in his brain and things were getting more and more serious by the hours. Isaac decided to send 2 teams with different equipment so they can operate him in the air if necessary. By time we arranged the larger plane, the night arrived and the airspace in San Martin was closed. Isaac said, Gideon, don't worry about it. We have the right connection and we're going to open up the airspace. They took off around at midnight, landed there in San Martin and realized quickly that the situation is much more serious than what they thought. They spent about 3 hours to stabilize him. Meantime, they closed the airspace again, and Isaac, with his connection, was able to open up for the second time the airspace. They took off around 4 in the morning. By 9 a.m., the patient was already in the ICU in Colombia.
VitalOne draws from a wide network of hospitals from across the country who specialize in a wide area of medicine, then makes the connection and facilitates all aspects of transportation, from the method of transport to the type of crew needed to accompany the patient. The crew selected to assist in a transport has to be highly trained and qualified to conduct an air transport. There is a significant difference between the qualifications and training of a regular paramedic and that of our highly trained critical care flight crew. When you're transporting a patient via plane or helicopter, it has to be done right the first time. There are no second chances.
My leader was at the hospital. He saw that the capabilities of the hospital were not up to snuff for my condition. He immediately had me airlifted by helicopter to a hospital in Newark. They had all the capabilities to take care of me, so they did surgery in the hospital on my leg. I have a piece of steel from my knee till my hip. They had to do reconstructive surgery on my foot. Basically, I owe him my life. I don't think I would have survived in that hospital. I actually know of other cases where they didn't survive.
We were all very nervous about the experience. It was an unknown, and we came out very, very happy and very satisfied. It turned out to be an extremely positive experience in using them. Rabbi Lieder took charge. He put us in touch with one of the top pulmonologists in the country who helped us in the process. Thank God she is off of the machine. She's breathing on her own, Baruch Hashem. She's getting stronger, thank God, every day between the care of the facility, but also being together with her family. That's really, really helped. Rabbi Lieder was instrumental in that from the get-go.
Looking back, I will always feel that I did the right thing for my child, and I always know that I gave her the best. You have to look at it medically, like, where is the best for your child? And with Rabbi Lieder, not to be afraid, because he's very professional, will get things done. I've called him in so many difficult situations for other people, and he comes through amazingly, quickly, efficiently. And I wholeheartedly tell people, go ahead with it, don't be afraid, because it could be done. My baby was extremely fragile. She was on the respirator turning blue, but she did amazing. Then we flew her back when she was ready to come back home, and she was fine. Don't be afraid, just go for the best, because ultimately you want your child to get the best care.
Thanks to Isaac and his team, the boy made fully recovery, and I believe that if Isaac and his team weren't there, the outcome would be a lot different.